Hi, this is Angie with Grandma Creates. Today I wanted to do a review on my Ninja Foodi. Okay, so I've had this Foodi for about, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months now. So I just wanted to give a quick review of what I think, and I'm also going to be making spaghetti tonight for dinner, so I thought I'd just do all of that at the same time. So I thought that I would go to Walmart and buy an Instant Pot. But whenever I got there, I was looking around at all of the selections, and we came across this Ninja Foodi. And what this does, it's sort of like an Instant Pot, but it's a air fryer and a pressure cooker all in one. So that means that what I can do is I can do pressure cooker, I can use that, and then at the end, which I'll show you in a minute with the spaghetti, I can crisp things up in the end. So it's just all one pot. And you may or may not know that eventually one of these days we do want to get into an RV and just do RV living. So this one appliance that I have on the counter, it's going to be awesome. So that's all I'm going to need. And I'm really, like I said, I probably use this every night. There may be once or twice that I don't use it, but usually it's every night. It's very easy cleanup, and I don't have too many of the accessories with it, but I really don't need it right now. So eventually I may, but really you don't need too many accessories with it. This was around, at the time I bought it, it was around $180 at Walmart. The only thing that I wish that it would have is and I didn't realize that Ninja Foodies had this until I got home. I was looking at the reviews and the YouTube videos about them, but a lot of them have the dehydrator, and I realized this later, and I kind of wish that I had it, but I had already used it several times, and it's very easily scratched on the pot on the inside, which I'll show you on this pot that comes with it. It's very easily scratched on there, so I've scratched it before, so I didn't want to take it back looking like that, so I decided just to keep it. I'll show you a little bit of the features that it has, and then I'll make some spaghetti. Okay, so I'm going to show you what all came with the Foodi. So it came with this, which is the air crisping lid. So you would lift it up, and it also came with this pot that is removable, and you can clean it. Like I said, it's very easy to clean. It's just you have to watch out because it does leave, as you can see in there, some sorry, I need to focus, some scratches, and that's because I may have we may have used a metal spoon or something to dip it out. I'm not for sure, but I try to use the rubber spatulas or something that's not metal. So you don't want to use anything metal in this pot, because that's what happens. So it has and then this is the air fryer lid, and then it has a pressure cooker lid with the vent right here. And how you put that on is you kind of match up, I don't know if you can see, you match up these little dots here. So there's one here, and then there's one down there, and then you would just shut the lid, and that's how that comes on, like that. And the the Foodi knows which lid's on there. So when the air crisp lid's on there, it will have these 3 lit up, and when the pressure cooker lid's on there, it will have the pressure, steam, slow cook, or sear saute lit up. So let me get you a closer look at those. With the air crisp, it's air crisp, bake roast, and broil. And if you were to find one that has the dehydrator, it will have the dehydrator right here. It will show it right here on this side. But it also came with this trivet, the metal trivet. And I use this all the time. And I also use the air crisper, which it came with that as well. This is all was included. Very easy to clean. You just take off the bottom here and clean it like that. But I put French fries, chicken nuggets, things like that in here. So I use that all the time too. Today I want to show you how I make the spaghetti. The spaghetti calls for ground sausage, and what I use, you could either use ground beef or ground sausage. What I like to use in my spaghetti is a half a pound of ground sausage and a pound of ground turkey. So we usually use ground turkey in all our meals instead of ground beef. I don't know, we seem to like it better. I'm also going to use a jar of spaghetti sauce, a couple cups of water, so about 2 cups of water. Or you can also use the broth. Sometimes I use beef broth in there as well, and it's really good. I'm going to actually write a blog post and put this recipe on that, so I'll link my blog post down below, so you'll be able to have all the ingredients and a recipe card to make this spaghetti. And I'm also going to be using some salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a half cup of Parmesan cheese. Now I usually use the grated Parmesan cheese, but I don't have any of that left, so I'm going to use up what I have in my cabinet, which is some Parmesan cheese in here. Some, I guess this is grated, but I usually use the bag kind, so it just seems to melt better. I don't know why. And then you need some olive oil. This Ninja Foodi, I've learned that it doesn't really do well if you put like vegetable oil or canola oil in it, so I always use this olive oil. It does really well with that. And then I use the thin spaghetti noodles. You can use whatever kind you want. Okay, I think that's it. That's everything that we need in here. So let me show you how I make the spaghetti. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need to do is turn on your Ninja Foodi. That lights up. And then we're going to put in the olive oil. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and you just let that, what I click on is the sear saute, and it'll be on high. I'll leave it exactly like it is and push start, and we're going to let that heat up for just a little bit, so you'll kind of smell it and kind of hear it heating up. Okay, and here's what it looks like as cooking. So you can see it is cooking it, searing it. I just leave the lid up so I can watch it. Okay, now you cook until the meat is no longer pink, which is what I've done here, and then you just even the meat out in the pan. Don't worry about draining it or anything like that. Just kind of make it even in the pan where everything's all distributed evenly. Then you will pour in your jar of spaghetti sauce. So I have a 24-ounce jar. I'm going to pour the whole thing in there. Then I pour about 2 cups of water, or this is where you can add broth if you have it, and put it in your jar and shake it up so that way you get all of the spaghetti sauce out of it, and pour that in. But don't stir, because if you stir, sometimes it collects at the bottom or on the sides and your Ninja Foodi will get too hot. And now you're going to break your noodles into thirds and use equal sized pieces. So I'm just going to get a handful of noodles, probably about this many. Just got my hand and break those into thirds, and they will fly everywhere. And just kind of sprinkle them throughout. Don't just put them in clumps. Sprinkled those throughout, and then gently submerge them into the liquid. So just kind of push them down. Don't stir them, but just gently push them down until they're all submerged into the liquid. So basically like that. They will break on you while you're doing this. It's okay. Push them down into it. Okay. We're gonna put the pressure cooker lid on. So kind of match it up. Actually, we're gonna turn it off first, sorry. Then we're gonna put the pressure cooker lid on. So make sure those two match up, and then you would turn it this way. So it would look like this. And then make sure your steam valve is over to the sealed position, not the vent, and then this red button will be down. So what you will do at this point is turn it on, then push on pressure, and it'll be automatically on high. And then we're going to go for 9 minutes. So we're going to set it for 9 minutes and then push start. And you'll see this line up for a few minutes. Since my liquid was pretty hot, it won't take as long, but usually it takes about 10 minutes or so before it'll get pressurized. And you'll know it's pressurized because that little red button will pop up when it's pressurized, and that's when it'll start cooking. Okay, now you notice that the timer is going up. That means it's trying to depressurize. So what we're going to do right now is do a quick release, and it's going to be pretty loud. So what you do is just turn this over to vent, and then you'll see the steam rise up. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's doing a quick release. That usually takes about 5 minutes. Okay, and this is almost done. You'll see this button here getting ready to pop down. Go ahead, and that'll be pretty soon. There you go. So that means it's depressurized and I'm able to take the lid off. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and take the lid off and add the rest of my ingredients. I'll turn the machine off. I'm going to sprinkle in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to put a little bit of the mozzarella cheese. I'm going to just stir that inside it. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it a stir and just let that mozzarella cheese melt. Now this is the best part of the foodie, because I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle the rest of the mozzarella cheese on top of here. And then I'm going to sprinkle put my Parmesan cheese on top. And then you can see that in there. It's nice and I put it in there. It's all nice and stirred, and the cheese is on top. So the best part about the foodie is that you can close this lid now. I'm going to go ahead and close the lid. And then I'm going to turn it back on. You don't have to go from pan to pan or put it in the oven, bake it in the oven. We're going to crisp up that cheese a little bit, melt it a little bit more and crisp it up. So we close the lid, press the air crisp, and then get it to 400, and then we're going to push the button, we're going to get it to 400 degrees, and then we're going to put it on there for 5 minutes. So just 5 minutes is all it's going to take. Push start, and you'll see where it's air crisping right here. That's turned on. When it was pressurizing, that was lit up. So now it's air crisping, then that's turned on now. So we just wait for that to be done, and then everything is ready. Okay, so it will, after that's done, it'll show done on here, and then it'll show off. So that means that it's turned itself off and it's ready to go. So I'm going to lift the lid, and there's the finished spaghetti. So nice and cheese melted, and it smells so good. And that's it. This is seriously our son's favorite way to eat spaghetti. He didn't like spaghetti before, and after I made it in the Foodi, then he loves it. He loves it this way. But other than that, my review of the Foodi is that I absolutely love it. I don't have anything to, like an Instant Pot or anything like that to go off of, but I do love my Foodi, and I would recommend it to everybody. So I hope you enjoyed that review, and now I'm going to eat. So let me know. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and let me know if you have a Foodi as well, and if you have a recipe that you want to share. So see you next time.